Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today, I think I have 35 books to haul for you. So this haul is predominantly my birthday present, so if you want to go back and check out my birthday vlog, it will be linked down in the description. But yes, I got a few books this month. I have books here that were given to me by publishers and organisations. I have books that I bought myself, books that were gifted throughout the month for other reasons, and then my birthday present. So let's just get cracking in the ones that I bought myself. I bought both of these on my birthday, so again they were in the birthday vlog, but we have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I have fully given in and said yes, I saw this on TikTok, that is why I own it. Come at me if you will. It says, it started with a kiss. Wren Beaumont is beautiful and kind. She always gets good grades and is loved by everyone at Lancaster Prep. Everyone but brooding campus bad boy, Crew Lancaster. Crew is rich and handsome. His life is meant to be easy. But when you have an overbearing father and your family own the school, the pressure to be the best makes life harder than everyone thinks. And he certainly doesn't have time for innocent girls who only care about their classes. Girls like Wren Beaumont. But when unexpected chemistry disrupts psychology class, Wren discovers there's more to life than good grades, and Crew finally understands what it's like to be in love. I'm here for it. I kind of want to put it on my February TBR, I won't lie. The other book I bought myself, because yes, there were only two, is King of Wrath by Anna Huang, and again, I got this from the works on my birthday. It says, she's the wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. This is from the author of the Twisted Love series. I don't know what it's actually called, Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, that series. And again, I've seen this on TikTok. I won't lie to you, it was a TikTok buy. I'm getting sucked in by BookTok, guys, and I really don't want to be there. So please fish me out of this hole. But yes, I got this book. Sorry if we move slightly, Cole just called me. But I am going to now go on to the books that have been bought for me, wow, by lovely humans that weren't for my birthday. And I don't deserve these people. They are just amazing. The first book is The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker, and this was a gift from the lovely Victoria. As I talk, I'm sat next to my flowers that Victoria got me for my birthday, and she's just such a sweet person that I don't know. But this was a gift for completing every day of Clodmas and putting a video out every day in December, which is just so sweet. But this is about 8-year-old Chrissy, who has a new secret. It gives her a fizzing sherbet feeling in her belly. She doesn't get to feel power like this at home, where food is scarce and attention scarcer. 15 years later, Julia is trying to mother her 5-year-old daughter, Molly. She's always worried about her parenting skills, terrified that the social services are about to take Molly away. That's when the phone calls begin, which Julia is too afraid to answer because it's clear the caller knows the truth about what happened all those years ago. And Victoria says this is really dark and really weird. So that's like my keywords. I'm so excited. Next up, we have a gift from the lovely Adrienne, and that is Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. And it just says, a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. And that's all I will read into this one, because I did read a little bit more and it sounds good. But I just love the cover more than anything. So Adrienne got me this gift because she just finished it, or was currently reading it, when I did my New Year's Eve party for the patrons. So we were just chilling live, and oh, I love this like cream. We were just chilling, and she said that she liked it. I said, oh, I want to read that one, and she had a few glasses of wine, so then it arrived in my house a couple days later. So yes, we love Adrienne. This is such a unnecessary but really nice to receive gift. Then we have 3 books. Who do we think these are from, guys? Guesses in the comments. It starts with a C, but it doesn't really, it's an M. It is Crazy Mel. The first book she got me this month is Lee Evans' The Life of Lee. I wasn't having a good time. Everyone who watches my vlogs will have picked up on that. A couple weeks ago, I'm stuck to the book. I was kind of struggling. And I just wasn't my happy bubbly self, which I like to think I'm kind of back at now. But I wasn't doing the best, and Mal bought me this book as a pick-me-up, and it being Lee Evans, of course it's going to make me laugh. If you don't know, if you're not on this side of the pond maybe, Lee Evans is a hilarious British comedian, and if you haven't heard of him, I would definitely go check him out. But this book is apparently quite moving, quite emotional, and yeah, I'm excited to pick this one up. She then pre-ordered a book for me which came out in January, and that was of course Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I wanted to read this before the Leigh Bardugo event, and I won't lie, I have not picked it up because it took me so long to reread Ninth House that I just didn't get time for this. But I do want to read it soon. I don't want to put it off because I did reread Ninth House to read this one, so hopefully I can pick it up in February. Who knows? If you have not read Ninth House, just to give you a bit of a background, Ninth House is about Yale, the university, and the secret societies that are there, and Alex Stern, our main character, works for the Ninth House of Leith, which monitors and kind of keeps check on the secret societies. So yes, very excited to pick this one up. And then the third gift from Crazy Mal was A Woman Eating by Claire Coda, and this came in January because it was actually my Christmas present. Well, it was part of my Christmas present, the only book in there, and that got delayed through Hermes, whatever we're calling them. So it arrived in January. This says, a dazzling, funny and addictive debut novel about identity and belonging told through the eyes of a young vampire. And I'm not going to read more than that. It's a weird modern day vampire story, is what I've heard, and I think that sounds great. Next up, let's go for the books I have got through publishing organisations. I don't even know what to call them, because it's not the publisher, it's like the promotory kind of people. The first book I got is through Tandem, and that is The Only Suspect by Louise Candlish. There is a read along going on for this book. I'm not part of that. I could be if I wanted to, but I kind of ran out of time. But I actually just got this as a mail out, so if I can read it at some point. This does sound pretty cool, like a domestic-y thriller. It says, Alex lives a comfortable life with his wife Beth in the leafy suburb of Silver Vale. Fine, so he's not the most sociable guy on the street. He prefers to keep himself to himself, but he's a good husband and an easygoing neighbour. That's until Beth announces the creation of a nature trail on a local site that's been disused for decades, and suddenly Alex is a changed man. Now he's always watching, questioning, struggling to hide his dread. As the landscapers get to work, a secret threatens to surface from years ago, back in Alex's 20s, when he got entangled with a seductive young woman called Maria, who threw both their lives into turmoil, and who sparked a police hunt for a murder suspect that was never quite what it seemed. It sounds great. I do want to read this soon because I really think the mother-in-law would like this one, so I should probably get to it before I go there, or read it on the plane. It could be a plane book, who knows. And the other book I've got, which I'm still struggling to find out why I have this. If I don't know yet when I upload this video, if somebody from Hotkey Books could please contact me. But they sent me This Is How You Fall in Love by Anika Hussain. This is a YA contemporary romance, and Hotkey Books have those like keywords, so that's what I'll go through. It says fake dating, friends to lovers, love square, and second chance romance. So I am intrigued. It's very, very pretty, and there are like text pages, which I always love in a book. So yeah, as soon as I find out why I have this book and when I'm supposed to be reading it, I'll let you know. Okay, we are moving on to birthday presents, and I'm just kind of picking them up how they've been put down. So if you got me a present and you say you got me 2 books, if I talk about one and then I haven't got to the other, it's in the stack, so bear with. I got quite a lot of really dark romances, so you will see a few of those. The first one being Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe. And I didn't actually read what these were about in my birthday vlog, so I will give them more of a description here. It says this was from Roxy. This was from Roxy, the amazing Roxy. He challenged her sanity, she shattered his reality. They dared each other to the brink of madness. A dark and twisted maze awaits criminal psychologist London Noble when she falls for her patient, convicted serial killer Grayson Pierce Sullivan. As she unravels the traps, her sanity tested with each game, she's forced to acknowledge the true evil in the world around her. Well, yes, that sounds amazing. Mother-in-law. She's asked me to find her murder with romance. If you have any good suggestions for books with murder and romance, she loves Verity, that kind of vibe, let me know so that I can read them and then I'll give them to her. The next one we have here, completely different vibe. This is from Nicola and it is Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This is about Ari Adams, loves working as a TV meteorologist, but unfortunately her boss is so busy fighting with her ex, who happens to be the station's new director, that there's always a storm brewing inside the newsroom. After a particularly explosive showdown, Ari and Shy Sports reporter Russell hatch a plan to get their bosses back together fast. We see where that's going already, don't we? This sounds so cute, thank you, Nicola. Next up, a gift that wasn't technically for my birthday. So apologies, Laura, because it was missed out of that original gift section, but it wasn't for my birthday. And it is The Echo Man by Sam Holland. This was in my birthday stack because I opened it on my birthday. But this was actually a gift from the lovely Laura as a, not really a pick-me-up, but just an acknowledgement of mine and Cole's anniversary, which is just the cutest thing in the world. She did not need to do that. I was so shocked, but so touched at the same time. So me and Cole have been together 3 years in January. It's the 11th of January just gone. And yeah, it means the absolute world to me that someone literally acknowledged that with a gift. Like, a message would have sufficed, Laura, but thank you so much. This says, the murders have begun. Across England, a string of murders is taking place. Each different in method, but each horrifying and brutal. But the killer is just getting started. Jess Ambrose is plunged into the investigation when her husband is killed. With the police pointing at her, she runs. Her only hope is disgraced detective Nate Griffin, and he's going to shock the world. Soon, Jess and Griffin discover the unthinkable. The murderer is copying the world's most notorious serial killers, but now he's ready to create his own masterpiece, and it will be more terrifying than anything that has come before. Doesn't that just sound horrifying? I'm so excited. Another thing that came out my birthday is my new coffee machine, so if I'm like amped up all the time, it's the caffeine. The next two on the stack actually happen to be from the same person, so that's worked out well. The first one is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and this was a gift from Emily Kathleen Reads. I'm getting so excited. I'm hanging out with Emily in like not very long at all. Like 4 weeks? Is it even that? 4 weeks, I think. So yes, 4 weeks today. So excited. But I wanted to read this. I don't know too much about the actual story, but I love the show The Haunting of Hill House, and this book is what it's based on. So yeah, let's actually read the back, shall we? Alone in the world, Eleanor is delighted to take up Dr. Montague's invitation to spend a summer in the mysterious Hill House. Joining them... Sorry, my patience is being tested by strangers today. There's a car playing music outside my window and I got up to politely ask him to turn it off so I could carry on filming. As soon as I sat down, he pressed play again. So if you hear music, please ignore it. But it was so loud that it would probably get copyrighted, so that's why I'm like, please turn it off. I think he's stopped now. Anyway, go back to reading this. Joining them are Theodora, an artistic, sensitive, and Luke, heir to the house. But what begins as a light-hearted experiment is swiftly proven to be a trip into their darkest nightmares and an investigation that one of their number may not survive. And it's acclaimed as one of the finest ghost stories of the 20th century. Nice. I'm very excited to read this one. And the other book that Emily got me is 6 Stories by Matt Wesolowski. And I put this on my wish list because she mentioned it and it sounded cool. So she bought it me, which is fantastic. It says, 1997, Scarclaw fell. The body of teenager Tom Jeffries is found at an Outward Bound centre. Verdict, misadventure, but not everyone is convinced. 2017. Enter elusive investigative journalist Scott King, whose podcast examinations of complicated cases have rivaled the success of Serial, with his concealed identity making him a cult internet figure. In a series of 6 interviews, King attempts to work out how the dynamics of a group of idle teenagers conspired with the sinister legends surrounding the fell to result in Jeffrey's mysterious death. I read that wrong, but I don't know how to correct it. Yes, and the guy started his music again, and thank you, Emily. I'm just gonna take a pause from filming while I decompress. Okay, he's moved on, so let's carry on filming. The next gift I have here is from the lovely Rhiannon, and it is Always Love by Louise O'Neill. This sounds so dark and hard-hitting, which, thank you, Rhiannon, because you're going to make me feel things. This is what we want. It says, when Sarah falls for Matthew, she falls hard. So it doesn't matter that he's 20 years older, that he sees her only in secret, that slowly but surely she's sacrificing everything else in her life to be with him. Sarah's friends are worried. Her father can't understand how she could allow herself to be treated like this, and she's on the verge of losing her job. But Sarah can't help it. She's addicted to being desired by Matthew, and love is supposed to hurt, isn't it? I don't think I need to read more than that. Thank you, Rhiannon. This is going to make me feel lots of emotions. Next up, we have a gift from Katie, which is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I only read a snippet of the back of this and it just sounds heartbreaking. This is about Elsie, who, long story short, let's skip 3 sentences, has met Ben, who's charming. Their chemistry is instant and electric. Ben cannot even wait 24 hours before asking to see her again. Within weeks, the two are head over heels in love. By May, they've eloped. Only 9 days later, Ben is out riding his bike when he's hit by a truck and killed on impact. Elsie hears the sirens outside her apartment, but by the time she gets downstairs, he has already been whisked off to the hospital. There she must face Susan, the mother-in-law she has never met and who doesn't even know Elsie exists. It says, Forever Interrupted will remind you that there's more than one way to find a happy ending. And I don't know why that has choked me up. I like that. I'm gonna like this. Next up we have a gift from Crazy Mal, of course we do, and it is Influencer Island by Kyle Rutkin. It's very short, so Mal had the arc of this from NetGalley and it sounded interesting, so I stuck it on my wish list and she's ended up buying it me. So it sounds really cool. It says, welcome to Influencer Island, an art installation created by infamous street artist Wyatt James. An experience for 10 competitors to travel to paradise and compete for social media glory. Overnight, millions of users send off their submission videos, hoping for the chance to party with the biggest influencers and celebrities in the world. Or so they thought. By the time the contest went offline, dozens of influencers were declared dead or missing. No winner was announced. The only hope for a conclusion lay in the unaired podcast produced by Cal Everett, a young reporter with his own mysterious connection to the contest creator. That's all I'm going to read. It has like Hunger Games inspirations apparently. How fun. And thank you, Mal, even though you know you're in trouble for each new thing I hold up from you. Next we have a gift from the lovely Becca over at the Becca Fowl, and she got me Barbarian Alien by Ruby Dixon. This is book 2 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series, and this does not add to my TBR because I have technically already read it. I'm not saying I won't reread it, but I have technically already read it and it's just gorgeous. Like, who would know that this is alien smut? Nobody. Since first seeing the Ice Planet Barbarian special edition in Barnes & Noble, like way back when, I have been collecting this series and I now have books 1 to 4 in cute smut. This book is then from the lovely Chloe, who I have now identified from the comments, so thank you, Chloe. But it is I'm a Therapist and My Patient is in Love with a Paedophile, 6 Patient Files from Prison by Dr. Harper. This is, well, as it says, it's 6 patient files, it's very short, but this is the second book to I'm a Therapist and My Patient is the Next School Shooter, or something along those lines. It says, I've counselled the most chilling criminals, a young inmate who fell in love with a paedophile, a man who intentionally infected strangers with HIV, a patient with an extremely unusual addiction, a sociopath who wanted to have a conscience, a conspiracy theorist who harassed victims of a terrorist attack, and the patient who still haunts my dreams, a boy sold into human trafficking. In these files, you'll learn about the psychology behind the world's most dangerous criminals. But you'll also learn about me and the worst thing I've ever done. Well, this sounds interesting. I'm more intrigued. And thank you, Chloe, because I really need to read the first book, so this has given me a kick up the bum to read this. Then we have gift number 2 from Roxy, and I am so excited. It is There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This is a dark romance, but the love interest is called Cole. So I'm going to enjoy this. It says, Cole Blackwell values control. He's the hottest sculptor in San Francisco, wealthy, successful, and respected. Okay. His only weakness is the dark impulse he carefully conceals. Mara is a nobody. Broke and damaged, she works 3 jobs while creating paintings no one will ever see. A chance encounter throws Mara into Cole's path. When Mara escapes what appears to be certain death, Cole is intrigued. He starts stalking her, realizing there's more to the struggling misfit than he could ever have guessed. Cole becomes obsessed with Mara, breaking the rules that keep his true nature hidden. Mara knows he's dangerous, but Cole is the only person who's ever recognized her talent. Cole is teaching Mara to get what she wants. What does he want in return? I don't care. He'll probably get it. Next up, I have been informed there is a other book I should read before this one, and I checked on Amazon and it does say you should. So I'm going to be on the hunt for that one, but this is sold as book 1 in the series. I don't know why I'm rambling. Basically, I need to read a book called Satan's Affair before I read Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is huge, and it was a gift from the lovely Freya. There are so many gifts from Freya. And I won't read the whole thing, but just everything has roses on. There's a playlist with roses in the background. This page just says, can you hold your tongue, little mouse? And there are very big warnings. This book ends on a cliffhanger, that's fine. The contents are very dark with triggering situations such as non-dub con, no idea, between the main characters, graphic violence, human trafficking, stalking, child sacrifice, mentions of child death, explicit sexual situations. There are also particular kinks such as gunplay, somnophilia, and degradation. This book was previously taken down due to the warning, but you can also find them in reviews on my website, or feel free to message me directly. Your mental health matters. So, very dark. Romance. Let's do this. The next book I pick up is also a dark romance, and that is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, which was a gift from Kitty. And this says, when Cora attends her sister's birthday party, she expects at most a hangover or a walk of shame. She doesn't anticipate a stolen wallet, leaving her stranded and dependent on Dean, her arch nemesis and ultimate thorn in her side. And she really doesn't anticipate waking up in shackles in a madman's basement. To make matters worse, Dean shares the space in his own set of chains. After 15 years of teasing, insults and practical jokes, the ultimate joke seems to be on them. The two people who always thought they'd end up killing each other must now work together if they want to survive. But Cora and Dean have no idea their abductor has a plan for them. A plan that will alter the course of their relationship, blur the line between hate and love, and shackle them together with far more than just chains. What? Then a very different and gorgeous book from Faith is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I do not know too much about this book, I just know it is damn pretty. It says, this is not a romance, but it is about love. Two kids meet in a hospital gaming room in 1987. One is visiting her sister, the other is recovering from a car crash. The days and months are long there. Their love of video games becomes a shared world of joy, escape and fierce competition. But all too soon that time is over, fades from view. When the pair spot each other 8 years later in a crowded train station, they are catapulted back to that moment. The spark is immediate and together they work on what they love, making games to delight, challenge and immerse players, finding an intimacy in digital worlds that eludes them in their real lives. Their collaborations make them superstars. I am very intrigued, and I mean, however long this sits on my shelf, it's gonna just be a beauty to add there, really. Now we have a bit of a second chance author, and I kid you not, I am so intrigued by this book that I just had to stick it on my wish list. And it is The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels by Janice Hallett. I gave The Appeal, which was her first book, 5 stars. I gave The Twyford Code, her second book, 1 star. Worst book of the year so far. So, can Miss Hallett turn me back around? I hope she can. This says, everyone knows the sad story of the Alberton Angels, the cult who brainwashed a teenage girl and convinced her that her newborn baby was the Antichrist. Believing they had a divine mission to kill the infant, they were only stopped when the girl came to her senses and called the police. The Angels committed suicide rather than stand trial, while mother and baby disappeared into the care system. Nearly 2 decades later, true crime author Amanda Bailey is writing a book on the Angels. The Alberton baby has turned 18 and can finally be interviewed, if Amanda can find them. It will be the true crime scoop of the year and will save her flagging career. Rival author Oliver Menzies is just as smart and better connected and is also on the baby's trail. It is told in mixed media, as all of her books are, and I'm very excited to give this one a go. I feel like she could regain herself. I think it was the voice notes in the Twyford Code that just lost me so much. We are on to the final stack, guys. You will be able to go back to your life very soon. The first book I have here is also from Freya, and that is My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Wager. This sounds horrifically sad, but I'm so excited. Physics nerd Azel and popular handsome Roman are practically strangers, but they've been drawn into an unthinkable partnership. In 1 month's time, they plan to commit suicide together. With the deadline getting closer, something starts to grow between them, a feeling Azel never thought she would experience. It seems there might be something to live for, after all, but is Azel in so deep that she can't turn back? I don't think we need to read more into that. It sounds horrifically sad and very moving, so I'll wait till I'm in a very good place to read this one. And I think this is the final gift from Freya, is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm so behind on reading my Riley Sagers. They're all sat here and I need to, but this one looks so good. I couldn't not get it. Casey Fletcher has escaped to her family's lake house for peace and quiet to mourn her late husband. When the glamorous couple across the lake catch her attention, she's mesmerised. They're perfect, just like Casey and her husband used to be. But is anyone what they seem? Is Casey as perfect as she thinks? I mean, really, I'm not going to look more into it at this point. The text is tiny. Oh my god, it's tiny. I need to read more Riley Sager. I literally have all of the books that have come out. Now I happen to have 2 books from the same person next to each other again. I love when this happens. First is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, and this is my first gift from the lovely Kayla. I love her so much. And it looks so weird. Okay. When Alex Easton, a retired soldier, receives word that their childhood friend Madeline Usher is dying, they race to the ancestral home of the Ushers in the remote countryside of Ruritania. What they find there is a nightmare of fungal growths and possessed wildlife surrounding a dark, pulsing lake. Madeline sleepwalks and speaks in strange voices at night, and her brother Roderick is consumed with mysterious malady of the nerves. Aided by redoubtable British mycologist and a baffled American doctor, Alex must unravel the secret of the House of Usher before it consumes them all. I have no idea what that just said, but I am very intrigued. And the other strange book she got me is Things We Say in the Dark by Kirsty Logan, which is alone in a remote house in Iceland. A woman is unnerved by her isolation. Another can only find respite from the clinging ghost that follows her by submerging herself in an overgrown pool. Couples wrestle with the lack of connection to their children. A schoolgirl becomes obsessed with the female anatomical models in a museum, and a cheery account of a child's day out is undercut by chilling footnotes. Again, what did I even just read? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. And then we had a camera battery swap. It is all going down today. The next book I have to show you is again Crazy Mal, of course it is. And it is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. I won't go into this one. It's vampire smart. It says these vampires are hot. I believe it's the first book of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It says this dark and compelling world is filled with enticing romance as well as perilous adventure. So me and Mal are going to read this soon. Next up from the lovely Chelsea, we have Rose West, The Making of a Monster by Jane Carter Woodrow. I'm very intrigued by Fred and Rose West. They are serial killers from my local area, and I recently found out that Rose's daughter lives in my town. It's very weird, but I'm way more intrigued by learning about this very horrific couple, and yeah. Oh, there are pictures. Okay, the pictures are even creepier now. And I believe the daughter is in this. I don't know. I think this is going to be a very interesting time. Maybe one for Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. Who knows? Next up, the actual birthday present from Laura, not the anniversary present, was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Laura loves Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have not read this one yet. So let's read the whole back of this. It says Lauren and Ryan met and fell in love in college. A decade later, their marriage reaches breaking point. Hoping to find a way to fall in love again, they come up with a plan to take a year off from each other. There is only one rule: they cannot contact each other. Living apart from Ryan, Lauren confronts her own ideas about monogamy and marriage. What does it mean to love? What are you willing to fight for? And is there a new road to happily ever after? I think I am fully on the train, and I've heard this by multiple people, but the thing I'm thinking of right now in my head is Brett Young's song, Leave Me Alone. And it says, if you want a break, it's a breakup, and I fully stand by that. If anyone ever said to me we should go on a break, I would just end it and move on. So this is going to be intriguing. This is going to be intriguing. A break is a breakup. So a marriage break, it's probably just a divorce. And I think that's what's going to happen in this book. Next up, the lovely Amy got me The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And this is from the From Blood and Ash series. Well, that is a mouthful. So I'm not going to look in the back because I have only read book 1 and this is book 4, so I don't want to spoil anything. The chapter headers are so nice. So yes, I'm not going to read anything about this, but From Blood and Ash is a spin-off on vampires, fantasy with a bit of romance story. So I don't know what's happening at this point, but we're gonna get there eventually. Next up, the lovely Lisa from Lisa Does Life got me The Darkness Within by Kathy Glass, writing as Lisa Stone. Not really sure what's happened here, but it's all good. So we have, when critically ill Jacob is given a life-saving heart transplant, his worried parents aren't the only ones to notice the change in his behaviour. Their once loving son is slowly being replaced by a violent man whose mood swings leave them terrified. But is it their fault? Jacob's girlfriend is convinced the man she loves is suffering from stress, but when his moods turn on her, she begins to doubt herself, and she can only hide the bruises for so long. When a terrible crime is committed, those close to Jacob are forced to confront their darkest fears. Has the boy they but once loved become a monster, or is someone else to blame? Intriguing. I've said that about 8 times, but it is intriguing. Final 2 now, we have the last gift from Crazy Mal, and that is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I was so confused when I got this because I did not realise that it had been picked up by a traditional publisher, and oh, that's pretty, it's like embossed. So rather than the self-published cover I was expecting, you get this really nice hardback. Like, love it. And I don't know too much about A Dowry of Blood, but S.T. Gibson's sensational novel is the darkly seductive tale of Dracula's first bride, Constanta. It's about Dracula's bride. that's all we're going to go in knowing. It's gorgeous. I'm on board. And the final book I have here, I don't know how Amy blagged it, is The It Girl by Ruth Ware, which is a signed copy. Very exciting. I really like Ruth Ware. I've read some very good Ruth Ware books, and yes, I am definitely intrigued by this one. So let me just give you a summary and then we are done with the haul. It says, it was Hannah who found April's body 10 years ago. It was Hannah who didn't question what she saw that day. Did her testimony put an innocent man to prison? She needs to know the truth. Even if it means questioning her own friends, even if it means putting her life at risk. But if the killer wasn't a stranger, could it be someone she knows? I don't know, could it? This is the new Ruth Ware, and I'm really liking the pink vibes. So there we have it. Those are the 35 books I hauled this month. A massive, massive thank you to anyone who sent me a book. You know that you didn't have to, and just opening your gift at whatever point of this month meant the world to me. So thank you so, so much. I don't deserve all your guys' support, but I'm very grateful for it. On that note though, that's all I really have time for. I have 2 more videos to film today, 2, not 4. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.